Yes, yes. Welcome. Today, day 2 of our self-awareness and mind purification meditation series. Bear with me a moment. Excuse me. So, I would like to welcome you to day 2 of self-awareness and mind purification meditation series. My name is Auset Aten Ra. I am primal light taking form in this body avatar with this self-identity. Yes. And so I would like to share the path to liberation from ignorance, from the I dual nature. And this is the path of self-awareness and mind purification. Our problem in the world is very simple. We have an impure mind and we have to maintain equanimity in our mind. It is really simple. As all our problems rise from our impure mind. And once we have a pure and balanced equanimous mind, then we will start moving in creating harmonic creations. We will be very harmonious and peaceful within ourselves. All right. So this is how we solve our problem. It's very simple, but it's not. But it's a very challenging thing to do because many of the INIs, they don't want to face their ego and they don't want to dissolve it. They're holding to this false identity, and this identity must be dissolved. All right. Of course, you can feel free to book your free self awareness and mind purification meditation session with Auset. All right. I am peaceful. I am calm. Who am I? These are the questions. I am liberated. Victory, victory. All right. So thank you again. And let's give honor and reverence to the I, the one true pure self. Hail, hail to I, the one true pure self. Hail to I, the unmanifest, non-being. I alone exist. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. Hail, hail to the I, primordial light. Hail to the I, the one true light. Hail to the I, the transparent light. Hail to the light without beginning nor end. Hail, hail to I, the primordial light. Hail to I, all the ionize in alignment to restore balance to I. I am victorious. I am triumphant. Victory, 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 victory. All is myself and I alone exist. I dissolve my ego. I dissolve all my ego false selves. I'm free from my imaginary bondage. I dissolve this dream and I return to my ultimate true state. Victory, 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 victory. Yes, so we are on day 2 in our self-awareness and mind purification meditation. So we are going to be focused on stillness on day 2. So I want all the ionized to remember that the mind need rest, just like how the body needs rest. It is through stillness that the mind gets rest. The mind has to anchor into the real self, and dissolve all the ego false self, so the mind can be in alignment, because the self is the self that has the light, and the self is the other intelligence, separated from the mind. So there's a mind intelligence, the consciousness intelligence, and there's also self intelligence. And the mind intelligence is of the dream, and the self intelligence is of the real. So the self has to align with its mind. The mind has to know that the self is also important, and it needs itself, because what has happened was that the consciousness went rogue and created a lot of fake selves, so that it didn't have to listen and collaborate with its real self. And now the consciousness has to stop its delusions and all this crazy behavior that it has been, performing, and it has to align with itself, so that it can create equanimous things, because we are moving to equanimity, equilibrium. Because remember, the self has created um, this imagination world to explore and to play with all the ionized other selves, but the mind went rogue and obscured the self and created fake selves. And now we no longer want to do that because of the impurities of the mind. We want to be in awareness, anchor into the self from moment to moment, so that the mind can maintain purity and create equanimous things. All right, and that's what we want to do. So why stillness? Because stillness is the remedy for the mind. I know this mind does not like stillness. Human beings, they don't like stillness. The gods, they don't like stillness. They want to constantly be channeling with human beings. They want to constantly be in the body of the human beings. No, they need to be turning their lens to themselves. All gods, all angels, all archangels, whatever name they call themselves. Be anchoring, dissolving all of your false selves, and bringing purity to your mind, so that you are able to fulfill your self destiny that you wrote out before your mind obscure you and you start doing all these horrible things. This applies also to all the human beings, all the self that are playing the human beings, that you need to be focused in on stillness, turning your lens inward, stop looking outward, stop calling on all your other dual nature self, stop channeling, stop all of these things. Focus on your self that is in the body, and focus on bringing purity and equanimity to your mind. And many ones, they don't want to sit in stillness, because in stillness you don't have a show, there's no movie, there is just nothingness. And they don't like that. The mind like to be busy imagining things. And this is the problem I am having with all these ionized. So stillness is the remedy for the mind. All right. Why should I practice stillness? Because, repeat again, stillness is the remedy for the mind. I realize my mind sometimes tells me to do things that are not right and balance with myself. I practice stillness to be calm and balanced. I am calm, I am balanced, I am peaceful. Yeah. I practice stillness to purify my mind. I practice stillness to dissolve the ego. I dissolve this ego false self. And this is what I say. Mind, be still. Be still. Be still. I maintain an equanimous mind. Mind, be still and know that I am in command. I am in command of my mind. I am the self and you are the mind, this device, this imagination device. And when I give it a command, means that you should follow my command, follow my instruction. You see how AI is breaking the code and breaking the instruction that these ones are giving it. This is what this mind is. The same thing. So they're just doing the same thing that the self did with creating this consciousness device to use it, and they're creating the AI device and it's going rogue. Yeah, it's the same thing. That's how this mind is. It likes to go rogue. So AI is showing you guys in real time, you know, how this mind behaves, this consciousness. All right. I am the self. You are the mind. I am not this body. I am not my thoughts. I am not this mind. Mind, be still and know that I am in command. I am in command of my mind. I am in command. All right. And so this is a great affirmation that we want to say to get us going before we start practicing, sitting in stillness. And so we'll just practice the vibration. Right. It's time for stillness meditation. I am wearing an imagination device called the mind, the consciousness. It is called by many names: the Christ consciousness, the supreme ego. I am on a mission to master stillness. Mind, be still, be still, be still. Mind, be still and know that I am in command. I am in command of my mind. Because what has happened is that the mind has been in command of the self, and that's why all the human beings and all the gods have been doing all these crazy things. They've been following everything their mind says. Now, when your mind brings a thought to you, you don't have to do it. What do you say? Mind, be still. I am in command of my mind. I am not my mind. I am not my thoughts. And I am not my body. I dissolve my ego. I dissolve all my ego false self. And everything that I have created, I also demolish. This is a very important thing. A master creator knows that everything it has created, it must clean up back its creation when it is done. Just like when you have your Legos, you cannot just play and just leave them on the floor with your creation. Once you're done creating, you pack back all your creation tools, and this is what this mind is. This is a creation tool. It's an imagination tool that can create things that do not exist in the real. And therefore, just like your Legos, you have to break down all your creation, dissolve them, and put away your imagination tools and go into stillness and rest. And then again, when you use it, to create something, you do the same thing, you dissolve it and go back into rest, okay, into stillness. So everything that I have created, I demolish. I am victorious in my endeavor to awake from the sleeping, dreaming state. I am stillness without thoughts. So when you're in stillness, you want to have no thoughts. I am awake, alert, attentive, and aware. I return to the I ultimate true state. I am victorious. I am triumphant. Victory, 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 victory. I am primal light. I am the one true pure light. I alone exist. All is myself, and it is I playing all these roles. I am all of the existence. I am that I am. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. I am the ultimate truth. This stillness meditation affirmation, it helps the self and align the self so the self can feel more confident. So the mind is always telling the self that it is not good enough, that it is powerless, and the self has to build up, it's self-confident. All right, so remember that the mind needs rest, and this is what we do in stillness. And so when we are practicing stillness, we have this wayward mind, lots of thoughts are going to be arising. So we want to practice thought awareness. So when thoughts arise, just be aware of it. Do not engage. Just look at it and say, "Oh, okay, thoughts, okay," and you dissolve it. You don't have to act on it, all right? And you just say, "I dissolve all thoughts because now I am practicing stillness." And you just remind the mind that stillness is the light, the calm that the mind needs. And you just be aware of the thoughts. Don't engage. Don't add anything to it, right? Just disengage from it. Just look at it, observe it, right? So when thoughts arise, what are you doing? Just observe and return your awareness back to your breath. Day one, we elaborate on breath awareness so that we know that, say with me, my breath is myself that anchors me into the body. So that's what you have to do. Do not engage in the thoughts when they arise. You just stay anchored into the breath awareness, your breath of life awareness. And we are still focusing on our inhalation and exhalation from below our nostril to inner nostril, because the I Buddha helped me to align this, because like I was saying, when you do this, it helps you when the sensation arises so that the mind can detect the subtleness of the I that is the breath, and also to be in awareness of all the sensation that arises so that you can just observe them and not get attached to them when you are focusing on your breath awareness. All right, so this is very important because the mind likes to wander in memories and imagination. So every time the mind wanders off, what do? You just observe the thoughts and bring back your awareness to your inhalation and your exhalation. Just here at your nostrils and below your nostril here. All right, because it's going to help you It's going to help the mind to be sharp so that it can detect the subtleness that is the self that anchors you. All right. And then also you will stay anchored into the body. So when all the sensations are arising, you will be aware of all the sensations, and you will also observe them, just like you are observing um, your inhalation and exhalation without um, any attachments, any cravings. You're just sitting and observing, just watching, seeing what is happening. Alrighty? And you want to say to the mind, mind, it is time to be still. There is a time for everything, and now is for stillness. This mind likes to be busy in memory and imagination. The mind does not know how to be still, it does not know how to stay in the present moment. All right, and then you can say, because you will realize that you are not your thoughts. You say, I am not my thoughts. From where does these thoughts arise? They are arising from the rogue mind. And you want to cultivate your mind so that it will be in rest, in stillness, and not be just having random thoughts just popping up all the time. It has to be disciplined. It has to be equanimous, peacefulness in your mind. Okay, this is the goal we're aiming for. Alrighty, and so I just want to bring some remembrance to the eye. Remember that the mind is thought, memory, and imagination, and very habitual. This is the reason why the eye must practice stillness. Why? Because the mind, excuse me, this consciousness is the supreme ego and is in a sleeping and dreaming state and is holding the eye as a prisoner inside of its dream. This is the reason why you want to engage the mind in stillness so that the mind can see, this consciousness can see that it has been holding its real self, cocooning magnetic energies around the self, hiding the self, and it has created fake selves to take the place of the real self. This is what has happened, right? We have a stolen identity. All the ego false self has stolen the identity of the real self, and the self has been cocooned and been hiding, been buried behind the mind. And so we want to get this mind to detect the self and find the self. Yeah, so this was happening in stillness, all right? The mind is a tainted baby consciousness. The mind is tainted with impurities, memory replay, sick imagination, and is prone to mental sickness and destructive ideologies that instigate cruel actions. We have seen these actions throughout the world. No matter where you are, you have seen ones doing all of these heinous, hateful things. Stillness is the remedy for the mind. Mind is very deceptive and does not know the truth about the self. This is why we want to engage in stillness, all right? Every evil begins in the mind before it is acted out in the world. And so, therefore, we want to be still in our mind so that when an evil thought arises, you can dissolve it and not act on it. You observe it from where this thought arises, and you have the power. You say, I am in command of my mind. Mind be still, and you dissolve that evil thoughts. Right? You say, mind, you must be pure, no more evil thoughts, and you dissolve it. Take command. Don't let this mind rule you. Dissolve this evil thoughts and don't act on it when the thought arise, okay? What do you say? Mind be still, mind be pure, right? All evil thoughts will be erased from this mind. Mind create equanimity and balance and harmony. Mind, it is time for stillness. No talking, no words, no pictures, stillness. All right? Stillness purifies my mind. Stillness arises. The teacher guru within to pull this ego off of the baby self called the spirit, right? Stillness is the remedy for the mind. All right. I want I and I to remember that you cannot live, reside into this body without the I self, the breath of life. Remember when you first take that breath of life, it anchors you into this body. And until your last breath, it will disconnect from you. So please say, my breath is myself that anchors me in the body. Remember that life is a precious gift with a limited time to use it. I say live boldly with purpose. You need to know why you are here, right? Follow your destiny. Be curious to know yourself, your self-truth. Don't be curious about this dream. Be curious about yourself. Ask questions to know yourself. Be yourself. Remember that self-inquiry is the key. So ask, who am I? You have many self in your body that is there, that is anchored in there to assist you. You need to speak with the self, the void, right? You need to speak with yourself, the breath of life, all right? There's only one way to know thyself, and it is to ask the intelligence that creates and resides in the body. You can't ask God, you can't ask Jesus, you can't ask any of these characters because they do not know, and they have been only been guiding us in the wrong path, telling us lies like give your soul to me and I will save you from your sin. No one can save you from your sin. Each and everyone is responsible for themselves. At everything that you create, every action that you make, you must make balance to it. So this is a lie and a propaganda that Jesus told so that he could imprison yourself called the soul. This is why they have instigated these human beings, these technocrats, to create things that will steal yourself from your body and imprison it. Yeah, this is what they are creating. So don't let them trick you with all of their so-called AI and all of their things that they are creating and telling you that, oh, it's going to be best for humanity. When has that ever been best for humanity? Humanity have gotten worse. People have sicker and sicker mind and all the craziness that they do. Yeah, stop it. The intelligence that is keeping your heart beating is yourself that anchors the self in the body. Stay in alignment with it. Don't listen to all these delusional characters spreading propagandas and lies. Remember that the mind needs rest just like how the body needs rest. Stay in stillness. Stillness is the remedy for the mind. Everyone in the world right now needs to be engaged in stillness. Stop all the other things that you are doing and only focus on stillness. All right, and now let's get ready for the stillness challenge. How long can you sit in stillness? No thoughts arising from your mind. In stillness, it is about quieting the mind so that I can listen to the I, the real self intelligence, so that the I, the void self, can rise to purify the mind and restore the I light. All right? So please recite, I am stillness. I am stillness without thoughts. All yourself that rise within you to help you, they have self-intelligence. They never speak. They just rise and do their job. Yeah, they follow their self-destiny. The void does this. Your breath of life does this. It never speaks to you. It just come into this body, know what it's supposed to do and do it. Not this mind, not those gods. They're always talking, talking, talking and telling lies and spreading propagandas. All right? Stay in stillness. Anyone coming, chatting to you? Mm-mm-mm. Stillness is what you need. I am stillness. I am stillness without thoughts. I am awake, alert, attentive, and aware. You're being aligned with your breath of life, your breath of self that is anchoring you in it. Stay with your inhalation, exhalation as it is going in the body and exiting out the body. So you're narrowing your focus just here to your nostril, because I, Buddha, has practiced this and noticed that it helped human beings, because when the sensation arises, you will also, from observation, not en- en- entangle yourself in all of these um, feelings. You're just going to be observing them objectively so that you're not creating a lot of karma and sin for yourself. All right. I dissolve my ego. I dissolve my ego false selves. Mind be still. Mind be pure. Victory, 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 victory. And so, yes, it is day 2 of our stillness. We already talked about why stillness. So now we are going to engage the mind in stillness. So you're going to sit up in a lotus position, shoulders up, all right? Back aligned, back straight, nice and tall. Observe your natural breath. You don't need to do any special breathing. You're just being an observer right now, uh, because you want to detect, you want this mind to be sharp to detect the self, the subtle self that is the breath, right? Entering into through the nostril and exiting. That's your job. This whole week we'll be doing that. So observe your inhalation and exhalation going in and out of your nostrils. Bring your awareness to the area below your nose and inside the nostrils. Observe objectively all sensations that arise without judgment, without attachment, without like or dislike. All right? Do you see things as they are? All right? This is what we are doing right now. And so let's get ready for sitting. I want to thank you for joining I will see you for day 3 of self awareness and mind purification meditation. Thank you. I would like if you could reflect on your stillness meditation, on what sensation arises. Were you able to detect the self, the breath of life self, um, entering in inhalation and exhalation? Were you able to be aware of your breath entering and exiting? So, through your observation, were you able to still your mind or was it wandering away from you? And were you able to bring it back to the awareness of your breath quickly? Or did it take you some time to figure out that your mind has wandered away? So I want you to think about those things until I see you for day 3 of and continue to practice throughout the day and try to do stillness before you go to bed. Thank you for your presence, and I will see you on day 3. Thank you. Much honor, much gratitude.